The courtroom lights hit Olivia Turner's face like an interrogation lamp. Shackles, 3 kilograms of cocaine, cameras everywhere. Captain Frank Reed sits in the front row, arms crossed, watching her like a man who's already won. The judge leans forward. "How do you plead?" Olivia doesn't blink. "I'll represent myself." A ripple of whispers. Reed's smile widens. To him, she's just another public defender, broke, powerless, alone. But here's what he doesn't know. Olivia's been waiting for this moment for 8 years. She didn't come here to beg. She came here to burn it all down. The question isn't whether she's guilty. The question is, when the system is rigged, how far can an innocent person go to fight back? Olivia locks eyes with Reed. "Your Honor, I have one question, and the answer will change everything in this room." Reed stops smiling. 3 weeks earlier, Olivia's alarm screams at 5:47 a.m. She doesn't hit snooze, can't afford to. The Honda Civic outside her apartment has 187,000 miles on it and a check engine light that's been on for 6 months. Fixing it costs $800. She doesn't have $800. She makes instant coffee because the machine broke last year. Toast, no butter. Her sister Maya is still asleep on the couch again. Maya lost her job 2 months ago, and Olivia's been covering rent for both of them. The math doesn't work, but she makes it work anyway. By 7:15 a.m., she's at the county courthouse. Her office isn't really an office. It's a shared desk in a basement hallway that smells like mold and old files. No windows, no privacy, just stacks of case folders that never seem to get smaller. Today she has 4 clients. One is a 19-year-old kid caught with weed. Another is a single mother accused of shoplifting diapers. The third is a man who can't afford bail for a traffic warrant. The fourth is a woman who was arrested during a mental health crisis and doesn't even remember what happened. None of them have money. All of them have everything to lose. Olivia's caseload is 63 active files. The recommended maximum is 25. She works 70-hour weeks and still can't keep up. Prosecutors have entire teams. She has a paralegal who works 3 days a week and a printer that jams every 4th page. At lunch, she doesn't eat. She uses the time to prep for a bond hearing. Her phone buzzes. Another missed call from a debt collector. Student loans. $142,000 worth. She went to law school to help people. Now she's drowning while trying to keep others afloat. By 6 p.m., she's still at her desk. The fluorescent lights hum. Her back aches. She hasn't seen sunlight in 12 hours. This is what justice looks like when you're on the losing side of the system. And yet, she doesn't quit. Doesn't complain. Doesn't take shortcuts. Because 8 years ago, her father, Thomas Turner, a cop, died under circumstances the department called suicide. Olivia knows better. She's been waiting, watching, building a case in silence. Tonight, she'll drive home in the rain, eat leftover rice, and fall asleep with case files on her chest. Tomorrow, she'll do it all again. Until the night Frank Reed decides she's asked too many questions. Olivia learned 3 rules from her father before he died. 1, the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed, just not for everyone. 2, power without accountability is just tyranny with a badge. 3, if you're going to fight, fight clean. Because the moment you become what you're fighting against, you've already lost. She's carried those rules for 8 years like a second skeleton. Every morning, she walks into a courthouse where prosecutors have unlimited resources and she has a broken printer. Where judges rush through hearings because the docket is too long. Where her clients are presumed guilty the moment they can't afford bail. She could cut corners, plead everyone out, move cases like an assembly line. Half the public defenders do. No one would blame her, but she doesn't. She reads every file, visits every client, fights every motion, even the ones she knows she'll lose. Not because she's naive, Because the system only works when someone refuses to let it run on autopilot. Her colleagues call her stubborn. Her supervisor calls her inefficient. Prosecutors call her a pain in the ass. She calls it doing her job. There's a difference between fighting dirty and fighting smart. Dirty is planting evidence. Dirty is lying under oath. Dirty is using power to destroy someone weaker. Smart is knowing the rules better than the people trying to break them. Smart is patience. Documentation. Building a case so airtight that even a rigged system can't ignore it. Olivia doesn't carry a gun, doesn't have a badge anymore, doesn't have the authority to arrest anyone. But she has something more dangerous. 8 years of evidence, buried in encrypted files and safety deposit boxes, waiting for the right moment. And she has a belief she's never spoken aloud. Late at night, when the courthouse is empty and the fluorescent lights flicker above her desk, she thinks about her father's last words. If I die, don't let them call it suicide. She thinks about the kids she's defended, the mothers, the men who made one mistake and got buried for it. And she thinks, power isn't given, it's taken. But only by those willing to pay the price. She's been paying for 8 years. Tonight, the bill comes due. Maya's scholarship interview is in 36 hours. Full ride to State University, pre-med. The kind of opportunity their family hasn't seen in 2 generations. The interview is non-negotiable, miss it, and the slot goes to the next candidate. No exceptions. Olivia promised she'd be there. Promised she'd help Maya prep, drive her to campus, sit in the waiting room like their father would have. But if Reed's plan works, if Olivia gets arrested tonight, arraigned tomorrow, and denied bail, she won't make it. Maya will walk into that interview alone. Or worse, won't walk in at all because she's too busy trying to scrape together bail money that doesn't exist. The apartment lease is up in 19 days. Olivia's already 2 weeks late on rent. One more missed payment and they're evicted. She's been juggling credit cards to keep the lights on, paying minimums with cash advances, a house of cards one gust from collapse. Her caseload has 3 trials scheduled next month. If she's in jail, those clients lose their attorney. Public Defender's Office will reassign them to someone drowning in even more cases. Those trials will turn into plea deals. Guilty pleas for people who might be innocent. 63 families counting on her. Maya's future. Their father's name. All of it disappears if Frank Reed's traffic stop goes the way he's planned it, and Olivia knows it's coming. She's been tracking Reed's pattern for 6 months, every 3rd Tuesday, always between 9:30 and 10:15 p.m., always isolated roads, always drivers with no dash cams, no witnesses, no power, cocaine in the trunk, resistance charges if they fight back, community service if they plead guilty, prison if they don't. 18 cases in the last 2 years. 18 people whose lives Reed rebuilt in his image. Tonight is Tuesday. Olivia's route home from the courthouse takes her through Millfield. Isolated. No cameras. Perfect for a stop. She could take a different route. Could stay at the office overnight. Could ask Maya to pick her up. But if she runs now, Reed just picks another victim. And the clock keeps ticking for all of them. So tonight, Olivia will drive home like she does every Tuesday. And when those red and blue lights appear in her mirror, she won't be surprised. She'll be ready. 36 hours until Maya's interview. 19 days until eviction. 63 clients waiting. And 8 years of evidence compressed into one moment. The clock is running. The morning before the stop, Olivia receives an email. Sender, email protected. Subject, case file request, Turner, T. She stares at the domain. County systems use .gov addresses. This one doesn't match anything in the official directory. She hovers over the sender name. The metadata shows it was sent from an internal server, but routed through an external proxy. Someone inside the department is covering their tracks. The email is blank except for an attachment, a scanned incident report from 8 years ago. Her father's death. But this version has a section she's never seen before: witness statements that were redacted in the public file. One line stands out. Officer Reed arrived on scene approximately 4 minutes before dispatch was notified. 4 minutes early. To a suicide. Olivia screenshots the email, saves it to an encrypted drive, then deletes the original. She doesn't reply. At lunch, she's in the courthouse cafeteria when she overhears 2 bailiffs talking. Reed got another promotion. 3rd one in 2 years. For what? Guy barely writes reports. Doesn't need to. His arrests stick, every single one. That's not normal. Normal doesn't get you captain by 40. Olivia keeps her head down, but her hand tightens around her coffee cup. She pulls out her phone under the table and opens a notes app. Types. Read promotions tied to conviction rate. Check case outcomes. That evening, she's reviewing files when her paralegal drops off a document. Weird request came through, he says. Judge Kane wants your case list for the last 6 months for a panel review or something. Which cases? All of them, specifically the ones involving drug charges. Olivia's pulse spikes, but her face stays neutral. Did they say why? No. Just said it's routine. It's not routine. She's been a public defender for 8 years. No one's ever requested a bulk file review before. She waits until he leaves, then opens her desk drawer. Inside is a burner phone she's never turned on. Taped to the back is a handwritten number. Not yet, but soon. Before she leaves for the night, she checks her car, opens the trunk. Nothing unusual. Runs her hand along the interior panels, checking for anything loose or out of place. Clean. She takes a photo of the empty trunk, time-stamped, geotagged. Uploads it to a cloud server with a password only Maya knows. Then she gets in the car and starts the engine. Her hands are steady on the wheel. Her breathing is controlled. But in the rearview mirror, her eyes are sharp watching, calculating, waiting. She's done this drive 1,000 times. Tonight will be different. She just doesn't know if she's ready for how different. 9:22 p.m. Olivia is 2 miles from home when she sees the car on the shoulder. Hazard lights blinking. Hood up. A woman standing beside it, phone pressed to her ear, shaking her head. Young, maybe 25, wearing scrubs nurse, probably. End of a long shift. Olivia slows down. The street is empty. No other cars. No streetlights for another half mile. She should keep driving. She's on Reed's route, on his schedule. Stopping makes her vulnerable. But the woman looks up. Their eyes meet for just a second. Olivia sees herself 8 years ago, alone, needing help, with no one willing to stop. She pulls over. The woman's name is Jessica. Her car overheated. AAA says 90 minutes. She has a 6-year-old son at home with a babysitter who needs to leave by 10. No other family nearby. No Uber drivers accepting rides this far out. I can give you a ride, Olivia says. Jessica hesitates. I don't want to. It's fine. I'm going that direction anyway. It's a lie. Jessica's address is 15 minutes in the opposite direction. 15 minutes that puts Olivia even deeper into Reed's window. But some choices aren't really choices. Jessica gets in. She talks nervously about her son, about the hospital, about how her car has been falling apart for months, but she can't afford to replace it. Olivia listens, doesn't say much, just drives. When they pull up to Jessica's apartment, the woman exhales in relief. Thank you. Seriously, I don't know what I would have done. You would have figured it out, Olivia says. People always do. Jessica pauses at the door. Can I get your number? I want to pay you back somehow, buy you coffee or... Not necessary. At least tell me your name. Olivia hesitates. Giving her name means leaving a trail, but refusing feels cruel. Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. The door closes. Olivia sits in the car for a moment, checking the time. 9:51 p.m. She's late, deep in Reed's territory, alone. If he's watching, he knows she stopped, knows she deviated from her pattern. Maybe that makes her more of a target. Maybe less. She doesn't know. But here's what she does know. If standing in the right place at the wrong time is a crime, then the system isn't interested in justice. It's interested in control. And tonight, she's about to test how much control they really have. She puts the car in drive, heads toward home, toward whatever's waiting. The rain starts at 9:53 p.m. Olivia's windshield wipers beat a steady rhythm. Left, right, left, right. Her headlights carve tunnels through the dark. Millfield Road is empty. No other cars, no houses, just trees pressing in from both sides. Her phone sits in the cup holder. One text from Maya. You okay? Getting late. Olivia doesn't reply. Her mind runs calculations. If Reed stops her in the next 3 minutes, she has time to text Maya the code word. Maya will activate the protocol, contact the burner number, upload the files, call the one reporter who's been waiting for this story. But if Reed confiscates her phone immediately, none of that happens. She could turn around, take the highway instead, add 20 minutes but avoid this stretch entirely. Her fingers twitch toward the turn signal. She doesn't flip it. Because turning around proves she knew, proves she was expecting this. And the moment she shows foreknowledge, Reed's lawyers will argue entrapment, conspiracy, premeditation. She has to act like a normal person driving home from work, even though there's nothing normal about any of this. Her heart rate is elevated but controlled, hands steady, breathing even. She learned this from her father, how to stay calm when everything inside you is screaming. A pair of headlights appears in her rearview mirror. Distant, maybe half a mile back. Could be anyone. Could be nothing. Olivia doesn't speed up, doesn't slow down, maintains exactly 42 in a 45 zone. The headlights get closer. She watches them in the mirror, tries to identify the vehicle shape. The light pattern looks like a Crown Victoria. Standard police cruiser. Her pulse spikes, but her face stays neutral. The cruiser closes the gap. 50 yards, 30, 20. Then it pulls into the left lane, passes her, continues down the road, disappears around the bend. Olivia exhales slowly. Her hands are cramping from gripping the wheel. False alarm. But the night isn't over. She's still 2 miles from home. Still in the window. Still alone. The rain gets heavier. Visibility drops. She leans forward slightly, squinting through the windshield. And then, red and blue lights explode in her rearview mirror. Not the car that passed her. A different one. This one was waiting. Olivia's chest tightens, but her hands don't shake. She signals right, pulls onto the shoulder, puts the car in park, leaves her hands on the wheel where they can be seen, and waits. The officer takes his time. 30 seconds. 45. A full minute. Standard intimidation. Make them wait. Make them nervous. Olivia counts her breaths. In for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 4. The door opens behind her. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. A flashlight beam hits her side mirror, sweeps across the interior, lands on her face. She doesn't flinch. License and registration. That voice. She knows that voice. Captain Frank Reed. Olivia reaches slowly for the glove compartment, pulls out her registration, then her wallet, hands them through the window. Reed takes them, shines his light on her license. Olivia Turner. He says it like he's tasting the name. Public Defender's Office. Yes, sir. Working late? Every night. He smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. You know why I stopped you? No, sir. Broken taillight. Olivia's taillight isn't broken. She checked it this morning, but she doesn't argue. I wasn't aware. I'll get it fixed. I'm sure you will. Reed leans down slightly, studies her face. You look familiar. Have we met? I work at the courthouse. We've probably crossed paths. Probably. He straightens. I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle. Here it is. Olivia could refuse, could cite the Fourth Amendment, could demand reasonable suspicion. But refusing gives Reed an excuse for escalation. Resisting. Obstruction. Justification for everything that comes next. So she doesn't refuse. She opens the door, steps out into the rain, keeps her hands visible. I'm going to search your vehicle, Reed says, for officer safety. Am I being detained? You're being cooperative, aren't you? Their eyes meet. In that moment, they both know. He knows, she knows. She knows, he knows, she knows. This is theater. A performance with an audience of none. Yes, sir, Olivia says quietly. I'm being cooperative. Reed's smile widens. Good. Wait here. He walks to her trunk, pops it open. Olivia stands in the rain, water soaking through her jacket, and watches him plant 3 kilograms of cocaine in her car. She doesn't move, doesn't run, doesn't scream. She just watches and remembers every detail. Because in 8 years, she's learned one thing. The system doesn't punish those who break the rules. It punishes those who can't prove it. Reed turns around, holding a plastic-wrapped package. Well, he says softly, what do we have here? The handcuffs click shut at 10:04 p.m. Reed reads her rights. His voice is smooth, practiced, like he's done this 100 times. Because he has. You have the right to remain silent. Olivia doesn't speak, doesn't resist. She lets him guide her into the back of the cruiser. The seat is hard plastic, smells like sweat and fear. Through the window, she watches a second cruiser arrive, then a third. Lights everywhere, red and blue, turning the rain into a disco. A sergeant she doesn't recognize starts photographing her car. Another officer unrolls crime scene tape. Reed leans against his cruiser, arms crossed, talking into his radio. He's calling it in, making it official, creating the record. Her phone is still in the cup holder of her car. She can see it through the window, 20 feet away. Might as well be on the moon. Maya's text is still unanswered. In 30 minutes, Maya will start worrying. In an hour, she'll start calling hospitals. By morning, she'll know, and the scholarship interview is in 35 hours. A tow truck appears. Yellow lights join the red and blue. They're impounding her car, her registration, insurance, everything she needs. Gone. Reed walks to the cruiser, opens the driver's door, sits down, doesn't look back at her. Booking takes about 4 hours, he says conversationally. Then arraignment in the morning, judge will set bail. Though I hear drug trafficking doesn't usually qualify for OR release. Own recognizance. He's right. With 3 kilograms, she's looking at $50,000 bail minimum. She doesn't have $5,000, doesn't have $500. Your career's over, Reed continues. Bar Association will suspend your license pending trial. Your clients will get reassigned. Your sister Maya, right? She'll be fine. She's young, resilient. He says her sister's name like a threat. Then he starts the engine. Let's get you processed. The booking room is fluorescent white and cold. They fingerprint her, photograph her, take her shoelaces, belt, and jewelry. Everything sharp, everything she could use to hurt herself. Standard procedure for someone who's already guilty. The intake officer is a woman in her 50s. She doesn't make eye contact, just types. Prior arrests? No. Drug use? No. Known associates involved in trafficking? No. The officer's fingers pause on the keyboard. She looks up. 3 kilograms is intent to distribute. That's not personal use. That's business. Her voice drops. If you cooperate now, tell us who you're working with. Things go easier. I don't know what you're talking about. Right. The officer's expression hardens. You're a public defender. You know how this works. Nobody believes the innocent act. By midnight, Olivia is in a holding cell with 6 other women. 1 is asleep on the floor. 2 are arguing in Spanish. Another is crying quietly in the corner. A guard walks past, glances in. That's her, he says to another guard. The lawyer. Got caught with a trunk full of coke. Jesus, they're supposed to be the good guys. Nobody's clean anymore. The words carry. One of the women in the cell looks over. You're a lawyer? Olivia doesn't answer. My cousin had a PD, useless. Told him to plead guilty even though he didn't do it. Said fighting it would make it worse. She laughs bitterly. Guess you're all the same, huh? Pretending to care while you're just as dirty as everyone else? Another woman speaks up. How much were you moving? Must have been good money. I didn't. Sure. Nobody in here did anything. The woman turns away. Save it for the judge. The cell goes quiet. Olivia sits against the wall, knees pulled to her chest. This is the playbook. Reed knows it. Arrest her publicly. Let the accusation spread. By morning, the courthouse will know. By afternoon, it'll be in the news. Public defender arrested on drug charges. Trust in the system eroded. Every case she ever won will be questioned. Every client she defended will wonder if she was working both sides. Guilty by accusation. Reed doesn't need a conviction to destroy her. He just needs the headline. And when the guard walks past again, she hears him on his phone. Yeah, forward it to the press. Make sure they spell her name right. This one's a big deal public defender. Drugs. The whole thing. People need to know these lawyers aren't who they pretend to be. Olivia closes her eyes. By sunrise, the damage will be done. At 6:47 a.m., the prosecutor arrives. District Attorney Jennifer Marks, 42 years old. Conviction rate above 90%. She built her career on being tough on crime, which really means tough on public defenders. She stands outside Olivia's cell with a folder. Ms. Turner, I'd say I'm surprised, but honestly, I'm not. Olivia looks up but doesn't stand. Marks continues. 3 kilograms. Street value around $300,000. You've been a public defender for 8 years on a salary of $52,000 a year. The math isn't complicated. I didn't. Captain Reed's arrest record is impeccable. 37 drug seizures in 2 years. Not one of them overturned on appeal. Not one piece of evidence thrown out. Marks crouches down to eye level. You know what that tells me? It tells me he's careful, thorough, legitimate, or protected. Marks's smile is thin. See, that's your problem. You've spent so long defending criminals that you think everyone's corrupt. Reed is a decorated officer. You're a lawyer caught with cocaine. The system isn't broken, Ms. Turner. You are. She stands, drops a document through the bars. Plea offer, possession with intent to distribute. 7 years. You'll be eligible for parole in 4. Take it, and we don't pursue additional charges. Corruption, conspiracy, endangering your clients while under the influence. I've never used... That's for a jury to decide. But juries don't like lawyers who betray the system, especially not broke lawyers caught with a fortune in drugs. Marks turns to leave. Offer expires at arraignment. After that, we're going for the maximum. 15 to 20. At 9 a.m., Olivia is brought to arraignment. The courtroom is packed. Cameras, reporters, colleagues from the public defender's office sitting in the back, faces carefully neutral. Her supervisor won't make eye contact. Judge Catherine Walsh presides, stern, fair. But she's already read the police report, already seen the evidence photos. The State of California versus Olivia Turner. Charges are possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance. How does the defendant plead? Olivia is still in handcuffs, still in the clothes she wore yesterday, now wrinkled and stained. The prosecutor stands. Your Honor, given the quantity and the defendant's position of trust, the state requests bail be set at $100,000. A murmur through the courtroom. That's high for a first offense, but then again, she's a public defender. The system takes betrayal personally. Does the defendant have counsel? Judge Walsh asks. Every public defender in the room avoids eye contact. No one volunteers. Your Honor, Olivia says quietly, I will represent myself. The murmur gets louder. Judge Walsh frowns. Ms. Turner, I strongly advise against, I understand, but it's my right. Walsh sighs. Very well. Bail is set at $100,000. Preliminary hearing in 10 days. Next case. The gavel falls. Olivia is led out of the courtroom. In the hallway, a reporter shouts a question. Ms. Turner, how long have you been trafficking drugs? She doesn't answer. The system has spoken. Now it's her turn. Back in the holding cell, Olivia meets Tasha Williams. 31 years old, 2 kids, works as a hospital custodian, arrested 4 months ago during a traffic stop. Officer Reed found half a kilo of heroin in her trunk. Tasha's bail was set at $75,000. She couldn't pay, lost her job, lost custody of her kids temporarily, took a plea deal, 3 years probation, mandatory rehab, forever marked as a felon. I told them I didn't do it, Tasha says quietly. Told them I don't even do drugs. They tested me, I was clean. But the lawyer said it didn't matter. Judge wouldn't believe me over a cop. Which lawyer? Public defender, young guy. Looked exhausted. Said if I went to trial, I'd get 10 years minimum. Said the drugs were in my car, so legally it was mine. Said that's just how it works. Olivia's jaw tightens. He wasn't wrong, Tasha continues. I looked it up after. Constructive possession. If it's in your car, you're responsible. Doesn't matter if you put it there or not. She stares at her hands. My kids ask why mommy can't pass a background check anymore. How do I explain that? What kind of car do you drive? 2015 Honda Accord. Why? What time was your stop? Tuesday night around 9:45. Where? Millfield Road. Olivia's blood goes cold. Same road, same time, same pattern. Did Reed ask you to step out of the car? Yeah, said my taillight was broken. It wasn't, I'd just gotten it inspected. Did he have a body camera? Tasha shakes her head. He said it malfunctioned. Prosecutor said it happens sometimes. Judge didn't seem to care. There's a long silence. You believe me, don't you? Tasha asks. That I didn't do it? Olivia looks at her, sees a woman destroyed by the same machine that's chewing through her now. Yeah, Olivia says. I believe you. Then why didn't you do anything? You're a lawyer. You could have... I wasn't your lawyer. But you knew, right? You had to know this was happening. Olivia has no answer for that, because Tasha's right. Olivia has reviewed hundreds of Reed's cases, seen the patterns, documented the inconsistencies. But she waited. She built her case slowly, carefully, making sure it was airtight before moving. And while she waited, Reed destroyed people like Tasha. I'm sorry, Olivia says. Sorry doesn't get my kids back. Tasha stands, walks to the other side of the cell. You want to know the worst part? I still see him sometimes, at the grocery store, at the gas station. He smiles at me, like we're in on some joke together. She turns back. Whatever you're planning, do it fast, because he's not stopping. And every day you wait, someone else's life gets ruined. A guard appears at the bars. Turner, you made bail. Olivia blinks. What? Someone posted it. You're free to go. She looks at Tasha. Who? Does it matter? The guard says. You staying or leaving? Olivia stands slowly. Leaving. But as she walks out, Tasha's words follow her. Do it fast. Maya is waiting in the parking lot. Her eyes are red. She's been crying. When she sees Olivia, she runs. Oh my God, I thought... She grabs Olivia, holds her tight. I used Dad's life insurance, the last of it. $100,000 bail meant 10% to the bondsman. I had to... Maya, the scholarship interview is in 9 hours, I know. Maya pulls back. Her face is pale. But you're more important. We'll figure something out. I can apply again next year, or... No! Olivia's voice is firm. You're going to that interview. Liv, I don't have the application fee for next year. That money is gone. If I miss this, I'm done. 9 hours. Olivia's preliminary hearing is in 10 days. But the real deadline is now, because Reed won't wait. The moment he sees she's out on bail, he'll move to revoke it. He'll claim she's a flight risk. He'll manufacture new evidence. He'll escalate. She has one shot, one narrow window, and it closes the moment Maya's interview starts. Because if Olivia acts now, if she goes public, if she exposes Reed, the media storm will consume everything. Maya's interview will be drowned in headlines. Scholarship committees don't want controversy. They'll pick someone safer. But if Olivia waits until after the interview, Reed will have time to bury more evidence, to intimidate more witnesses, to prepare his defense, Maya or justice, her sister's future or everyone else's. How much time do we have? Olivia asks. For what? Before your interview, how much time? 9 hours. Why? Olivia pulls out the burner phone, the one she's been saving for 8 years. I need you to do exactly what I say. No questions. Can you do that? Maya stares at her. Liv, what are you planning? Do you trust me? Of course, but then listen carefully. Olivia's voice drops. In 8 hours, you're going to receive a file. You're going to upload it to every major news outlet, every civil rights organization, every legal watchdog in the state. What file? Everything. Video, audio, documents, 8 years of evidence against Frank Reed. Maya's eyes widen. You've been investigating him? Since the day Dad died. Why didn't you tell me? 3 p.m. The file goes live at 2 p.m. By the time you walk into that room, this will be everywhere. They won't be able to ignore it. And you? I'll be in court. Doing what? Olivia's expression hardens. Ending this. The clock is ticking. 8 years of waiting. 9 hours until everything changes. One chance to get it right. Olivia goes to her father's storage unit. She hasn't been here in 3 years. Unit 247. The lock is rusted, but the key still works. Inside, boxes, files. Her father's entire career packed into 12 square feet of concrete and fluorescent light. Maya helps her search. They're looking for one specific thing. What am I looking for? Maya asks. Gas station receipts. Millfield area. Tuesday nights. Why? Because Reed is methodical. He uses the same location every time. Same time window. Same routine. Maya pulls out a box labeled 2018 Personal. Starts flipping through papers. Liv, there's something else in here. She holds up a flash drive. It was taped to the bottom of the box. Olivia takes it, plugs it into her laptop. One file, video. Timestamp 8 years ago, the night her father died. She clicks play. The footage is grainy dash cam from her father's personal car. He's parked across from a warehouse, watching. A patrol car pulls up. Captain Reed gets out. He's younger but unmistakable. He enters the warehouse. 16 minutes later, he exits, carrying a duffel bag. Her father's voice, quiet. Third time this month. Same warehouse. Same bag. I need more before I can... The video cuts out. Olivia stares at the screen. He knew, she whispers. Dad knew Reed was dirty. That's why Reed killed him. Maya's hands are shaking. We need to take this to someone. FBI, state police, someone. No. Olivia ejects the drive. The moment we hand this over, it disappears into evidence. Reed has connections. This needs to go public, all at once. Too big to bury. She opens another file on her laptop. A map. Gas stations within 2 miles of Millfield Road. She's marked 18 of them. 17 have been demolished or had their cameras disabled. 1 remains. Quick stop on Brennan Avenue, half a mile from where Reed stopped her. That camera, Olivia says, pointing. If it was running that night, it caught everything. That's a long shot. It's the only shot. Maya checks her phone. It's 11 a.m. I need to leave for my interview in 3 hours. Then we need to move now. They drive to the quick stop. The building is old, paint peeling, but the cameras are still mounted above the pumps. Inside, the clerk is a teenager with headphones in. Excuse me, Olivia says. Do those cameras work? Yeah. Why? How long do you keep footage? Corporate keeps it for 60 days, then it gets overwritten. I need footage from 3 weeks ago, Tuesday night, 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. The kid looks suspicious. You a cop? Lawyer. Same thing. No, Olivia says firmly. It's not. She slides a $20 bill across the counter, then another. I just need to see it. 5 minutes. The kid looks at the money, looks at her. Manager's not here until 3. Perfect. He pockets the cash, leads them to a back office, pulls up the security system, scrolls to the date, and there it is. Grainy, black and white, but unmistakable. Reed's patrol car, pulling into the lot across the street, idling for 8 minutes, then driving away. Timestamp, 9:38 p.m., 11 minutes before he stopped Olivia. Can you copy this? Olivia asks. The kid hesitates. Maya pulls out another $40. Yeah, he says. I can copy it. At 1:47 p.m., Olivia's phone rings. District Attorney Marks. Ms. Turner, I'm calling as a courtesy. The state is filing a motion to revoke your bail. Olivia's stomach drops. On what grounds? You've been contacting witnesses, intimidating a gas station employee, attempting to tamper with evidence. That's not... The employee called us, said you threatened him, offered him money to fabricate footage. Marks's voice is cold. Judge Walsh has issued a bench warrant. You have 2 hours to turn yourself in. After that, you're a fugitive. The line goes dead. Maya stares at her. What happened? Reed got to the kid, flipped him. But we have the footage, which is now inadmissible, obtained through coercion, according to their story. Any lawyer would get it thrown out. Olivia sits down. Her hands are shaking now. 8 years of work, 8 years of evidence, and Reed dismantled it in 4 hours. What do we do? Maya asks. Olivia doesn't answer, because there's nothing to do. The gas station footage is poisoned. Her father's dashcam video shows Reed at a warehouse suspicious, but not proof of a crime. The pattern analysis she's built is circumstantial. Without a clean, unimpeachable piece of evidence, she has nothing. And in 2 hours, she'll be back in jail. This time, there's no bail, no second chances. Maya checks the time. My interview is in 1 hour. You should go. I'm not leaving you. Maya, this is your future. You're my future! Maya's voice breaks. You're my sister! Dad's gone! You're all I have left! I'm not walking into some interview while you're being arrested! Olivia closes her eyes. She's been so focused on destroying Reed that she forgot what she was fighting for. Not revenge, not justice in the abstract. Protection. For people like Maya. For people like Tasha. For everyone Reed has crushed, and everyone he will crush if someone doesn't stop him. But stopping him costs everything. I can't beat him, Olivia whispers. Not like this. He's too connected, too protected. The system is his weapon, and I'm just... You're not just anything. Maya grabs her shoulders. You're Olivia Turner. You're the woman who fights for people nobody else will fight for. You're Dad's daughter. Dad lost. No, Dad ran out of time. You haven't. Olivia looks at her sister. At the girl who gave up her scholarship money to bail out someone the world thinks is guilty. And something clicks. The interview, Olivia says slowly. What about it? You're going. Liv. And I'm coming with you. Maya blinks. Why? Olivia stands. Her jaw sets. Because Reed thinks I'm running out of moves. He thinks he's won. He's wrong. What are you planning? Something he won't see coming. She picks up her phone, dials a number she hasn't called in 8 years. A voice answers. This is Channel 7 News. My name is Olivia Turner, she says, and I have a story that's going to break in exactly 1 hour. I need a camera crew at the county courthouse, courtroom 3B, 2 p.m. sharp. What's the story? Corruption, conspiracy, murder, and the confession of a decorated police captain. A pause. We'll be there. Olivia hangs up. Maya stares at her. How are you going to get a confession? Olivia's expression is ice. They sit in the car outside the courthouse. Maya's interview clothes are in the back seat. She was supposed to be on campus right now, nervous and hopeful, preparing to talk about her dreams of becoming a doctor. Instead, she's here. I'm sorry, Olivia says. For what? For all of it. For dragging you into this. For using Dad's insurance money, for ruining your shot. Maya is quiet for a moment. You know what I remember most about Dad? She finally says. Not the cop stuff, not the uniform. I remember him at my 8th grade science fair. I built this terrible volcano that barely worked. Everyone else had these professional-looking projects with their parents' help. I remember that volcano. Dad stood there for 2 hours, explained to every judge who walked by why my project was important, made them stop and listen. Maya's eyes water. He didn't let me be invisible, even when I felt small. He was good at that. You are too. Maya turns to face her. Every client you've defended, every person you fought for, you made them visible. You made them matter. And look where it got me. It got you here, about to do something no one else would do. Maya reaches over, takes Olivia's hand. Dad didn't lose. He just didn't finish. But you will. Olivia's throat tightens. What if I can't? Then we go down fighting, together, like he taught us. They sit in silence. Outside, people walk into the courthouse. Lawyers, defendants, families. All of them trapped in the same system, some aware of it, some not. If this works, Olivia says slowly, your name will be connected to mine. The media will dig into everything. Your scholarship, your future, it could all be affected. Good. Maya, I mean it. If my future requires me to pretend this didn't happen, to stay quiet while people like Reed destroy lives, then I don't want it. Maya's voice is steady. I want to be a doctor to help people, but what's the point if I ignore the people being hurt right in front of me? Olivia looks at her sister, really looks at her. When did she become this strong? Dad would be proud of you, Olivia whispers. He'd be proud of both of us. Maya checks the time. 1:53 p.m. 7 minutes. You ready? Olivia exhales slowly. 8 years of preparation. 8 years of waiting. It all comes down to the next hour. She thinks about her father, about Tasha, about every person Reed has buried, about the system that protects predators and punishes those who fight back. She thinks about the question she asked in the courtroom. When the system is rigged, how far can an innocent person go to fight back? Today, she's going to find out. Yeah, Olivia says. I'm ready. They get out of the car, walk toward the courthouse together, side by side, the way their father taught them. The courtroom is packed. News cameras line the back wall, 3 local stations, 2 nationals. Channel 7 arrived first, but word spreads fast. Reporters smell blood. Captain Frank Reed sits in the front row, composed as always. He wasn't subpoenaed, didn't have to be here. But he came anyway, because watching Olivia surrender herself is the final piece of his victory. District Attorney Marks stands at the prosecution table, looking irritated by the media presence, but confident. She has the evidence. She has the momentum. She has the system. Judge Walsh enters. Everyone stands. Be seated. This is a bail revocation hearing for Olivia Turner. Ms. Turner, you were ordered to appear. I see you've complied. Yes, Your Honor. Olivia stands alone at the defense table. No lawyer, no files, just her. Walsh frowns. Ms. Turner, I strongly urge you to retain counsel before we proceed. I appreciate that, Your Honor, but I'm ready to proceed now. Very well. Walsh nods to Marks. Counselor, the state's motion? Marks stands. Your Honor, the defendant has engaged in witness tampering, evidence fabrication, and intimidation. We have testimony from a gas station employee that Ms. Turner threatened him and offered money to falsify video footage. This demonstrates a clear pattern of obstruction. The state requests immediate remand without bail. Ms. Turner, response? Olivia doesn't flinch. Your Honor, I'd like to address the court directly, but first I have a question for Captain Reed. Reed's expression doesn't change, but his eyes narrow. Walsh hesitates. This is highly irregular. Your Honor, Captain Reed is the arresting officer. He's material to the case. I have the right to question the credibility of the evidence against me. Walsh sighs. Keep it brief. Olivia turns to face Reed. Captain, how long have you been conducting traffic stops on Millfield Road? Mark stands. Objection. Relevance? I'm establishing a pattern, Your Honor. I'll allow it. Answer the question, Captain. Reed stands slowly, confident. I patrol that area regularly. It's part of my jurisdiction. How many arrests have you made on Millfield Road in the past 2 years? I don't have an exact number. 37, Olivia says. All traffic stops, all Tuesday nights, all between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m., all resulted in drug seizures. A murmur ripples through the courtroom. That's because I'm good at my job, Reed says smoothly. You are. But here's what's interesting. Olivia walks to the defense table, picks up a folder. In those 37 cases, not one defendant could afford a private attorney. All were assigned public defenders. All took plea deals. And in every single case, your body camera mysteriously malfunctioned. Equipment fails. It happens. 37 times? Marks stands again. Your Honor, this is a fishing expedition. It's a pattern, Your Honor, and I have evidence. Walsh leans forward. What evidence? First, GPS data. Olivia holds up a document. Captain Reed's patrol car made a stop at a warehouse on Industrial Boulevard 11 times in the past year. Each visit lasted between 8 and 15 minutes. That warehouse was raided 6 months ago. Federal agents found it was being used to store unregistered narcotics evidence from cases that were supposed to have been destroyed. Reed's jaw tightens, but he doesn't speak. Second, Olivia continues, I have gas station surveillance footage from 3 weeks ago, the night of my arrest. It shows Captain Reed's vehicle parked near Millfield Road at 9:38 p.m. 11 minutes before he claimed to have randomly encountered me. That footage is inadmissible, Marks shouts. It was obtained through coercion. Was it? Olivia looks at the judge. Your Honor, I'd like to call a witness. Maya Turner. Maya stands from the gallery, walks forward. She's wearing her interview clothes, professional, composed. Mrs. Turner, Walsh says, are you an attorney? No, Your Honor, I'm a college student, and 3 hours ago I made a phone call. She holds up her phone, presses play. A voice fills the courtroom. The gas station clerk. Yeah, some cop called me. Said a lady was going to come asking about video footage. Said if I gave it to her, I'd be arrested for evidence tampering. But if I called them instead, they'd pay me $500 and make sure I didn't get in trouble. The courtroom erupts. Walsh slams the gavel. Order, Maya continues. I recorded that call. Then I went back to the gas station. Got the real footage. The clerk agreed to testify voluntarily this time that Captain Reed offered him money to lie. Olivia takes the phone. And third, Your Honor, I have audio from 8 years ago. She plays another recording. Her father's voice, older and rough. This is Thomas Turner, badge number 4782. If you're hearing this, I'm likely dead. I've been investigating Captain Frank Reed for 6 months. He's been using his position to plant evidence on civilians, then seizing the drugs to resell them. I've documented 12 cases. I confronted him tonight. He told me... Static. Then Reed's voice, younger but unmistakable. You don't understand the game, Turner. This isn't about right and wrong, it's about control. And you just lost. The recording ends. The courtroom is silent. Reed is on his feet, face red. That's fabricated. It's authenticated, Olivia says calmly. Forensic audio analysis confirms it's your voice. The recording was found in my father's personal effects. Sealed, witnessed, dated 8 years ago, the night before he supposedly committed suicide. Reed's composure cracks. Your father was dirty. He was stealing evidence. He was investigating you, and you killed him for it. He deserved it. The words hang in the air. Cameras flash. Reporters scribble frantically. Reed realizes what he said. His face goes white. You just confessed, Olivia says quietly. On record, in open court, in front of 20 witnesses and 5 cameras. Walsh's gavel comes down like thunder. Captain Reed, you are under arrest for obstruction of justice, evidence tampering, and conspiracy. Bailiffs! 2 officers move toward Reed. He backs away, looking around wildly. You don't understand. She's manipulating. And we'll be investigating the murder of Officer Thomas Turner, Walsh continues. D.A. Marks, your office is to recuse itself immediately. I'm requesting a special prosecutor from the State Attorney General. Marks looks stricken. Your Honor, your office has been prosecuting cases based on Captain Reed's arrests for years. Every single one is now in question. Walsh turns to Olivia. Ms. Turner, bail revocation is denied. All charges against you are dismissed pending investigation. You're free to go. Reed is dragged out, shouting. This isn't over. You think you've won? The system will protect me. It always does. But his voice fades as the doors close. The courtroom erupts again. Olivia stands still, barely breathing. It's over. 8 years. And it's finally over. Maya rushes forward, wraps her arms around her sister. You did it, she whispers. You actually did it. Olivia closes her eyes. No, we did it. 6 months later. Olivia stands at her father's grave. The stone is simple. Just his name, his badge number, and the dates. The department finally changed the cause of death from suicide to under investigation. It's not justice. Not yet. But it's truth. And sometimes that's where justice begins. Behind her, the world has changed. Frank Reed is awaiting trial on 14 counts: murder, evidence tampering, drug trafficking, conspiracy. His attorney is trying to negotiate a plea, but the special prosecutor isn't interested. Reed will face a jury. 37 cases have been reopened, 12 convictions overturned. Tasha Williams got her record expunged, got her kids back, got her job back. She sent Olivia a card. "Thank you for seeing me when no one else would." The public defender's office received emergency funding, tripled their budget, hired 20 new attorneys, reduced caseloads to manageable levels. It won't fix everything, but it's a start. Maya got her scholarship after all. The committee called personally to apologize for the delay, said they were reassessing their evaluation process in light of recent events. She's pre-med now, top of her class. Olivia's phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. "My name is Marcus Chen. I was stopped by an officer in Riverside County last month. Same pattern, same story. Can you help?" She stares at the message. Another county, another victim, another Reed. Because Frank Reed wasn't unique. He was just the one who got caught. Olivia thinks about her father's words. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. And she thinks about her own belief, the one she's carried for 8 years. Power isn't given. It's taken. But only by those willing to pay the price. She's paid it. But the fight isn't over. She texts back, "Yes, I can help." Then she adds, "But you need to be ready. This won't be easy. It won't be fast. And you might lose everything before you win anything." The response comes immediately. "I already lost everything. That's why I'm asking." Olivia closes her eyes, breathes. Then she types, "Meet me tomorrow. Bring any evidence you have. And Marcus, don't trust anyone but yourself, not even me. Verify everything." She puts the phone away, looks at her father's grave one last time. "I didn't win, Dad," she whispers. "I just opened the door." But doors matter. Every case she reopens is a life reclaimed. Every pattern she exposes is a weapon disabled. Every person she teaches to fight back is a crack in the system. And eventually, enough cracks become a collapse. She turns away from the grave, walks toward her car. Maya is waiting, ready to drive her to the next city, the next case, the next fight. The system protects itself. It always has. It always will. But now it has something it's never had before. People who know how it works. People who refuse to stay silent. People who understand that justice isn't a gift from those in power. It's a demand from those without it. Olivia gets in the car. "Where to?" Maya asks. "Riverside County. We have work to do." Maya smiles, starts the engine, and they drive. Because the fight for justice doesn't end. It just finds new battlefields. And this time, they're not fighting alone. So here's the question that stays with you. When you see injustice happening, when you know the system is rigged against someone powerless, what do you do? Do you look away because it's not your problem? Or do you remember that silence protects the predator, not the prey? The choice has always been yours. What will you choose?
At Black Voices Uncut Plus, we tell fictional dramatizations inspired by real-world themes, raw, honest, and unapologetic. If this story hit home, hit like. Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for the next Uncut Voice.